I have known Steve Kimmel most of my life. We grew up together in South Dakota, and he has remained one of my closest and most trusted friends.
Steve Kimmel and I go back to 1977. We were both apprentices, sheet metal workers local 88. Even back then, Steve was always a step ahead of the rest of us.
Steve was is a very prominent member in his church, and I think he brings that integrity with him to work. As he believes that if you can get a favor for someone, you owe him a favor back.
Well, the reason I nominated Steve Kimmel for the position, or for the nomination of the Integrity Values Award, is because I've known Steve since we bought the company in the spring of 2000. When you think about integrity, one of the things I look at is how other people consider you. And whether it's union officials, management, people that reported to Steve, whoever the person was that was around Steve, always respected him, they trusted him, and he was the go-to person.
Throughout his career, he was always able to see the big picture better than most of us. I always tried to emulate him in some way. He always seemed to be able to behave presidential, for lack of a better term, in his conduct and the way he ran meetings, the way he conducted business.
I have worked with Steve for the past 20 years here at MMC Contractors, and he has been the driving force behind this company for most of that time.
When you go back to our handbook and you think about trustworthiness and accountability and truthfulness, that's what Steve exhibits.
I'm pretty sure that I've learned that integrity is a valuable asset with a person, and if you need to tell the truth all the time. First and foremost, it's always the best policy. And that's all I have to say about that.
Thanks.
He's not just a person of words, he's a person of action, and he wants to do things right. And if there's anything that is wrong about the placement of work or material not being per the spec or anything, he's the first one to say, let's make it right, and not wait for a punch list or wait for some other person to catch it. Also, if he would sit at a bargaining table and he is actually representing the company versus the union, he's sitting there at that table holding a union card, and yet he can sit there and represent the companies and do what's best for everybody involved.
For me, Steve Kimmel and integrity, the cowboy hat says it all. In my mind, someone that wears a cowboy hat, when they say their word and they have a firm handshake, lots of knowledge, lots of ingenuity, and can deal with people, and that's Steve. So Steve, you wear the cowboy hat very well.